Hi, and welcome to another edition of Onside SA, the show that keeps telling us what's going on here and overseas, and the Premier League, the South African League, the International League, the Champions League. They're all come together. Budge, let's first start, as we always do, with last one standing. People got it right. It was a weekend for favourites.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people Thursday morning, the moment Everton beat West Ham 4-0, they couldn't get the message through quick enough. 18 of them were on Everton. Good choice, you know.
Who did they beat? Palace, no?
They beat Huddersfield 2-0.
Beat Huddersfield 2-0, so...
12 were on Chelsea. Whoever can pick Chelsea this week will be on them. But Chelsea are at West Ham. But it's tough, Paul. I was going through it. Roger Scott still odds on.
Yeah, I just looked at, so we had 43 going into the weekend, and 40 came through.
40 came through.
Who are the three mugs? Yeah. So I know I'm hanging
You're
tough.
Still standing.
But again, looking at who's going to win it, Mark Curry, the Investec man, he's still got three teams in.
Superb.
Sean Phillips 3, Trevor Furry 2, Dean Moody 2, and Eric
Narak hanging in.
That's the CEO's son.
Yep, doing well.
I've looked at the teams I've used. I've still got Arsenal. I can use. I've used the other. I call them the big six.
Yeah.
I've used 5 of them. And they've come through for me. So this, I think, will be...
This is make or break weekend.
I say we lose 50%.
At least.
At least. Okay, so last one, Stanley. Thanks very much to DavGo. They've sponsored the tickets to go there. And our first winner, as you know, was Ernie Wallace. Skip, great footballer. He's going to go... When is he going? Has he decided?
End of January, we're going to Tottenham versus Man United at Wembley. It's a Wednesday game, so we'll be leaving. Well, Ernie's going the week prior to that. So I'll be leaving on Monday.
I hope I win it. I'll come with. I hope I win.
Go to Wembley, see United get beat again.
Yeah.
No, terrible.
No, just touching on United, they're getting the results.
Paul, we've got 3 defenders now. You've got Rojo. I don't think he trusts Smalling, but I think Jones will come and slot in there. And he's got the Swedish centre-half that's done well for us.
They lack the class of the United centre-halves, legendaries over the years.
Well, that's why they play 3, because you're not confident in 2. You know? Bruce Pallister, Rio Vidic.
Yeah, these were legends. These people will never forget players of that ilk.
Yeah. It's only now when you have a look what we got, you realise how good they really were.
Yeah, that's right. Man United were a team that you went there, every week they were 4-10, home or away. They're like the All Blacks playing rugby. They were going to win. But let's have a look at Champions League. Getting very interesting because we go back to British football this weekend. Budge, first time in probably the history, 5...
all went through.
5 Premier League teams all went through. And let's start with Tuesday night. Tuesday night, Man United 2-1. Came from behind?
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I watched the Chelsea Atletico Madrid game. Just watched the highlights.
I watched both.
Yeah, right, with the 2 TVs.
But 2 TVs.
Well, mine's on Sunday, obviously. We weren't going to get beat 4-0 at home. I know they scored first. Debate about the goal. But I cut it back. Blind went out of the field, but so did the Russian player as well.
Yeah.
And when they hit the guy in the back and went in, he was offside, but they claimed that Blind was playing him onside. But there was a Russian forward that was almost in the Stretford end. I don't know how the linesman never saw him.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that rule,
back.
but know it now. But come back 2-1. We're all over it.
I was just listening to the pundits saying that it was, I think it was Wright and Redknapp were talking, and they said, they were talking about Lukaku, and they said the great strikers of yesteryear never went through droughts like that. They got involved, they made their own chances, they created. He's getting good service, and he's not producing enough, you know. They thought.
Belgium's top goal scorer, you know, but you have a look at the service.
What has Belgium won?
Well, a lot of teams have won nothing, you know. But, you have a look at him, Paul. I just think his touch is wrong. But he's only a youngster.
Oh, of course he is.
You know, and what service did those previous strikers have? They had Giggs on the one side, Becker on the other, whipping them in.
Yeah.
United haven't got wingers anymore.
No, well, they're using wing backs. But we're trying to get Stevie B on the line. We should know if we've got him any moment. They're trying both his numbers to try and get hold of him. But let's keep talking about the Champions League. You watched the Chelsea game?
Yeah,
they came from behind?
Came from behind, yeah. With Hazard's on form, Paul, be careful.
Player. Yeah, great player.
One of the few English players that I would say.
What is the story? What's the story with David Luiz? Any ideas? Maybe Stevie.
Gone.
I'll keep that question for Stevie.
I think he's gone.
I think he's gone.
They said he's a knee problem, but
well, they're not putting him on the bench or anything.
Yeah.
And then PSG, first defeat in a long time to Bayern Munich.
I thought they'd do well, but there's always been question marks about the goalkeeper. And
Yeah.
you don't just arrive in Munich and beat Bayern Munich.
No, sure.
They got good players. They come in
Have
right.
they
They're
still
the
got that
danger
German
team.
goalie, that top German
No, so
goalie?
he's been injured all the time. He's back in January.
Oh, okay.
Be careful. Dangerous
All right.
team.
And then Wednesday, Liverpool rampant.
Magnificent 7. Yeah, well, it'll always be good going forward, Paul.
Fantastic going
It's
forward.
just going
They've
the
got
other way.
quality going forward, and they're really a good team. Tottenham played very well, I thought.
The team they played looked like a Sunday League team, but in
Yeah.
defence of Spurs, they did look good the first
Yeah.
20 minutes that I watched.
And Man City, their first defeat, they got a
Paul.
penalty to come back.
Yeah, but I know injury time penalty, but the mine's on Sunday.
Yeah.
You can't. People are questioning his decision to play other players. I don't blame
Did
him.
he throw a few?
He threw Foden a couple of kids on later on, but
Yeah.
Shakhtar Donetsk, they're on a bad team.
I saw
the
Real Madrid
Ukrainians?
throw on a few kids.
Jeez, Ronaldo
Where did they
can't
find
score.
them?
No, they've been there for a while, those kids.
They're good.
They're going to
Sure.
come. They'll be
They're
back.
coming through.
Someone's going to catch it from Real Madrid shortly.
Very good game, Borussia Dortmund against Real
I
Madrid.
watched the
Very
second
good
half
game.
of that.
Did you watch the chance in the 88th minute or something? The boy went inside, hit it over the bar.
Yeah,
That would
Shinji
have been 3-0.
Kagawa.
Yeah, that should have been 3-0. But okay, that's the Champions League. It's really
it's hotting
5
up
of
now.
16 are at the Premier League. Very pleased with that. But as someone said to me, good for the English clubs. Most of those teams going through. How many Englishmen are there? Chelsea have got 1. Spurs have got 5.
United have got a couple.
They've got a couple.
Liverpool have got a couple.
Liverpool got they're international
Man City
stars.
have got none. No, sorry, they've got Sterling and Stones. So.
Yeah, so it's 2-3. Spurs, as I say, have got the most, but it's a great league because of the great players that get attracted to it.
Competitive, yeah.
Okay, now, but this was where I wanted to ask you a couple of interesting questions. Just to run through the winners, the 8 winners of the different sections of Champions League were Man United, PSG, Roma, Barcelona, Liverpool, Man City, Besiktas, and Tottenham. Now, the ruling which you've told me is you
cannot play a team A that was in your group. So Spurs can't play Real Madrid in the last 16, and you cannot play a team from your country.
So how does that leave Chelsea? They can't play Roma?
Chelsea can play PSG, Besiktas, or Barcelona.
Wow.
So that's the problem with them. So it won't be easy.
No.
But knowing their luck, they'll get Besiktas.
Yeah. I believe Stevie's on the line. Are you there, Steve?
I am. Good morning.
Morning, Steve. Budge and I are here, and we've got a few questions for you this week. We're just talking about the Champions League and the ruling that Chelsea now cannot play against Roma, who finished top in their group, and they can't play a British team.
An English team.
An English team, sorry.
Yes, so it's sort of limited the teams that they can play.
Well, there's only 3. PSG, Barcelona, or Besiktas. What chance they draw Besiktas?
Well, I think if they had a choice, they'd rather play Besiktas.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure. A very hostile atmosphere there, but I'm sure they would rather that than be drawn against Barcelona or PSG at this stage of the competition.
Yeah.
Steve, who do you fancy to win it all?
I think it's interesting. Some of the press here are getting excited about the chances of an English team, Man City particularly. But I think that they have struggled in Europe over the last few seasons. And I think it'd be very difficult to look beyond either one of the big Spanish teams or possibly PSG. I think are mounting a challenge this year. But otherwise, hard to always look beyond sort of Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Now, you don't think PSG, the defensive shortcomings, got exposed in Munich on Tuesday night?
Well, I think that's right. I think that everyone has obviously been talking them up after sort of winning every game. So maybe that'll sort of bring them down to earth a bit. But these are the games that we're looking forward to seeing. So hopefully, if we get sort of some English clubs through to the sort of quarter-final stage, and they're playing sort of the PSGs and Barcelonas and Real Madrid, and I think those are exciting games.
Yeah.
So, there is a possibility we could get 4 or 5 sort of English teams through to the quarterfinals, which would be an exceptional.
Yeah, where's the final this year? That's a good question. Where are they playing the final?
No idea.
No idea. I've got my team stumped here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where they're playing the final this year, actually.
We'll phone a friend. No, it's not in Scotland, is it? Okay. Right, what I wanted to ask you, Budge and I were talking a moment ago on the air, Stevie, what is the latest on David Luiz at Chelsea? Is he gone?
Sorry, Paul, you just cut out there. I didn't.
Sorry, what's the latest on David Luiz at Chelsea? Is he gone?
Well, he seems to have fallen out. It's interesting. Obviously, sort of having gone back there and but he just seems to be out of favour. And there's no when he was sort of, they showed him on the TV the other day, and he wasn't playing, and there was no mention of injury or suspension or anything. So there seems to be a bit of an issue there, sort of internally. But obviously that doesn't bode well for him or the club, I think.
Steve, on the Newcastle situation, the takeover, is there any news?
Well, it all seems to have gone sort of fairly quiet. The latest appeared to be that a bid was made, but substantially below what Mike Ashley has said that he would consider. Now, obviously, the closer we get to sort of the January transfer window, if nothing is concluded, then my understanding is that they wouldn't be that keen to take over if they can't do it and have enough time to bring one or two new players in.
Sure.
So it's either going to happen very soon, or I suspect it might not happen until after the transfer window, or even at the end of the season.
Steve, I was listening to a pundit talking about that same sale and said it would be madness to conclude a sale now, because if the rot sets in and they go down, what are they buying? Something completely overpriced.
I think this is
if they stay up.
The problem. If a team is out of the Premier League, their net worth is substantially less.
Yeah, so I think they've got to look at waiting later and listen. We're safe. We're gonna survive. Do the deal then.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Mike Ashley holds on to the club, I think it would be a false economy by not giving Rafa Benitez funds to strengthen in January, because they had a good run, early in the season, but since then they're looking very shaky at the back, and I think that they could easily be sucked down towards that bottom three, as one or two others are.
Steve, on to the January transfers. You think Liverpool may make another bid for Virgil van Dijk at Southampton, especially seeing how they're going?
It's a possibility, and it's all. I mean, obviously he's back in the fold at Southampton.
Yeah.
Whether or not after everything that sort of went on in the close season, whether Southampton will be prepared to even consider a bid at this stage. Again, January is always a difficult time because a lot of the clubs don't want to lose their best players.
Yeah.
Because they don't have long to replace. You don't normally get a lot of transfer activity like you do in the summer.
Yeah.
So obviously there are teams at the bottom become desperate. They're prepared to splash out if they can.
Yeah.
But I'd be very surprised if the big teams, unless they had any injuries between now and then, would go and sort of do much in the transfer market.
Yeah, and just to remember that the finals in the Ukraine, it's in Kiev, the Champions League
There we go.
finals.
It's come back to Bud. It's come back. How would you like your Kiev? Now, tell me, Stevie, just before we close up, what's the story? Losing last week with Fulham and getting a man sent off. What happened there?
Well, I mean, that's again, it was very disappointing. By all accounts, we were 1-0 up, playing very well, completely on top. Gave away a silly goal, and then the young boy Dennis Adoy got himself booked. And in the beginning of the second half, sort of made a clumsy challenge, was warned by the referee pretty much that the next one he'd be sent off, and 2 minutes later committed another foul. And I think where people are a little bit disappointed was with the manager.
Yeah, taking him off.
At that point, when he got warned, very often that's an opportunity to actually take him off to stop him from doing anything rash. And in that sort of intervening 2 minutes, that probably cost us the game, because with 10 men and you go a goal behind, and then you're always chasing the game after that.
Yeah, Birmingham this week, Steve, they're going to come fired up.
Well, I think you're looking at a team that can't win at home against a team that can't score or win away. So it's probably got 0-0 written all over it. But it'd be nice to see a home win. But they're a bit of a bogey team for us, Birmingham.
Yeah.
Recent seasons we've struggled against them. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a very tight game.
Yeah, we never had their game on Monday night against at Wolves. At St Andrews. Apparently,
by all accounts, they played quite well, but again, they didn't have a single shot on target. Birmingham. I think Wolves got an early goal, went up, and they just killed the game.
Yeah.
And Wolves now, as we know, are sitting 10 points clear of third place and looking very strong. So I think it's going to be a very tight game on Saturday. Maybe more than a goal in it.
Well, there'll only be 3-3, Steve. But.
Stevie, that's all the news. Thanks very much. Anything else you got for us?
No, I think that's. Obviously, it's probably about the first week for a while we haven't talked about any managerial casualties.
That's
but
true.
I think that the trapdoor is still open for for Paul Clement, if Swansea don't pick up very soon, I don't think the board will want to go into the new year sitting bottom of the table without doing something. So I think that's something to keep an eye on in the next week or two if they don't win.
You think Tony Pulis to Swansea?
Well, in fact, the paper a couple of days ago were linking him with the Wales job. I'm not sure necessarily that's what I think he does enjoy the cut and thrust of club football, so it may well be he would hold on possibly to the Swansea job rather than commit himself to taking over Wales at this stage.
Okay.
Lovely, Steve. Thanks very much for your time. We'll speak to you soon.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Just getting back to Champions League, the draw is on Monday to find out who the teams have drawn, especially Chelsea. Now, when they do the draw, I'm just wondering, they take
There's
Chelsea
so many
and
bowls.
they take Chelsea and they say there's only one of three teams they can play. They put it down like that and put them apart.
Yeah.
It must be a difficult draw.
Yeah, well, not easy.
Hunt's back.
Yeah, won a trophy.
Won a trophy. Well done to him.
Yeah.
He struggled in the league, which is so unusual for a top
Well, they
manager.
can't score goals. I think they've scored 8 goals this season. That's not like Gavin's teams. So.
He goes forward. He scored, but they scraped home against Bloom Celtic. I thought.
All you can do is score at injury time. That's
Yeah.
all you can do is win the game.
Well, he's got a trophy. Well done. The knockout final. He won that. And let's look at the PSL midweek results, Budge. Cape Town City, Maritzburg United 4. They've turned it a bit.
That game was played in Kwamashu because of the rugby at the stadium. They moved it to Durban. It was in the bucketing rain, but a great result for Maritzburg. It hadn't scored in the previous 7 games. Good result
They
for
played in the
Fadlu
rain. There were
Davis.
6 goals scored.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 to Cape Town City, 4 to Maritzburg United. Sundowns, looking ominous.
Ominous, yeah.
4 past Baraka. Baraka were on top at the
Yeah,
stage.
they were, but they haven't won an 8, Baraka. Too many draws.
Yeah. Pirates, talking about draws.
They were lucky.
Were they?
Yeah.
Nil each with
Super Sport, yeah.
Budge, Wednesday, Amazulu postponed.
Yeah.
Bloom Celtic. Free State Stars back to winning ways.
Yeah.
They beat Golden Arrows, Bidvest Wits and Ajax Cape
No,
Town.
bad result for Gavin, yeah. Especially at home.
Yeah, get a win there, shoot up the log. Kaiser Chiefs got beat away.
They just likewise can't score. It was a good game. I watched it.
Yeah.
Chipper, nice team. They haven't lost in 10, Chipper.
Must be they must be feeling
But they've drawn
pretty
7,
good.
but still they were hanging on for dear life at the end. But just Chiefs missed that. It's a striker.
Yeah, and then Polokwane City and Platinum
Yeah, Platinum.
Stars.
Rogers got them not conceding, going well.
My man Roger, well
Moved
done.
off the
Platinum
bottom.
Stars won. Okay, just talking about the PSL standings, and that's very important because I think the league's over. Platinum Stars, no, let me get it right. Sundowns have got 19 points of 10 games. The second team, Chipper, have got 19 points of 13 games.
Yeah. Well, they were involved in the CAF Champions League. That's why the backlog.
Who does Percy Tau play for?
He plays for Sundowns.
Good player.
Nice player.
He got in behind them.
No,
He goes
he's a
around
good
them.
player.
He's a very good player. I watched that game. And then Baraka, 19 points,
Yeah,
and
hanging
Pirates,
in.
19. So the top 4, 19 points, but they're all giving away 3 games
Yeah.
to just 3 draws. They're clear. Golden Arrows, 17 points. And then Cape Town City got a game in hand on 17. They could move up to
could
top
do.
if they win that game. Chiefs, 13 for 16. Just dropped 3 off the speed.
Yeah, not for me again, Chiefs.
Yeah, we said at the beginning it won't be Chiefs and Pirates. Now, if you drop down to bottom, Bidvest Wits, they're the champs.
Yeah.
10 points of 12 games. So give them another game. They can go to 13. We'll put them 6. It's tight,
They
bunch.
got a big game. They play Polokwane away this week. Polokwane, a third bottom. So a desperate
That's
game
right.
there. But they've got to start scoring. If they don't score, obviously they can't win.
Ajax, 10 points. Ooh.
Now the pressure's coming on these boys now, yeah.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. Both leagues looking interesting, but in both sides, I think the leaders now are in strong positions. Let's go to the Premiership. Good games. Let's have a look at the slides. Budge, tell me what you like here.
Well, I've got to fancy Chelsea the way they're going. You know, I didn't watch much of the West Ham Man City game, but Moyes has got them fired up.
They parked the bus,
Yeah.
and they were beaten by a very good goal by Silva late. And you could see they were, I can't believe we lost, because they held them off. You know, they had a great formation. I wonder how they're going to play this game at
Well,
home.
you've got to contain, we spoke about Hazard and Morata, but this will be a physical. You've got to fancy Chelsea, Paul. But it's a lunchtime kickoff.
Quality side.
Yeah, a good team. Yeah, they
You
look.
who didn't play? My man didn't play last game.
Who was that? William.
No. God.
Oh, yeah, Alonso.
Alonso,
Yeah, they rested
sorry.
him. Yeah,
Did they rest him? So he's not injured. Alonso didn't play. Okay, let's look at that. So 5 to 10, 1 to 2 Chelsea.
Yeah.
Burnley want to get back on winning ways. They dropped from 6th to 7th.
Yeah, they lost at Leicester, which, Leicester are going well. Watford have scored 2 goals in every away game they've played this season. They've played 6 games.
He's a good player.
They've lost to They lost at Everton, which they shouldn't have.
Yes.
They lost at Chelsea, which they shouldn't have.
They should never have lost to Chelsea. They roasted Chelsea.
They're going well. Burnley won't be easy. A small pitch, the wind will
Tough
be
game.
howling. Tough game. I think there'll be goals in it, but a close game.
Palace, Bournemouth, they got Palace
fancy
even.
Palace. I went for Southampton last week against Bournemouth. I just can't believe that. They tried to play out from the back, got caught. Bournemouth, bang, 1-0.
Yeah.
Then it was all Southampton. It got to 1-1. And then that Pellegrino took a attacking player off for a midfield player. I like Crystal Palace. The last 4 home games, 1-2, drew 2. They've scored 2 goals. Our man Benteke is back.
Onside Benteke.
Onside, he's back. I fancy Palace.
Yeah, they've got that speedy wingers.
Townsend,
sound. They sound. Yeah, I'm going with you. I like them. Okay. Huddersfield want to turn it around quickly. They
battling to score. This is a big game for Huddersfield. They don't
and
get
Brighton,
a result
and
here.
Brighton.
Yeah,
Brighton.
But, Brighton, the last 8 games, they lost to Liverpool 5-1, and they lost to Man United 1-0 when they shouldn't have. I expect a draw. I don't see Brighton getting beat here. Huddersfield have got to go for it.
They
I
have
just
to.
don't think they've got much quality up
Well,
front.
the team has got to go for it, Swansea. They have to go for
tailed
it.
off, but
They've
West
got to get
Brom as
points
well.
now. Sorry?
West Brom as well. They haven't won in 11.
Wow.
Drawn the last 3, Pardew's there. I like West Brom of the 2 teams, but they draw a big player again.
People on the last one standing, they've got to look at those games and say, whoa, draws could knock me to
And
Toti.
that's the problem. There's a lot of games that are dodgy this weekend.
I've used Palace.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next sheet. Spurs, have you 1 to 4? I think Spurs will
Salvation
beat
Army
Stoke.
Spurs. Stoke, the last 6 away games have scored, but Spurs can't beat Stoke at home well.
They're too classy for Stoke,
Should
I've
be.
got no doubt. But since Oliveira's gone, we've struggled.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, Newcastle, again, they
I
have to
fancy
get...
Leicester big time here.
They're
Paul,
playing attacking football.
That Vardy up front, him and Moritz, tailor-made to
go at
these guys at the back, Newcastle. They'll come they'll play in the break. I fancy Leicester big time. Newcastle with a sail, and Rafa's come out now asking what's going on. He wants money for January. They're struggling to score goals.
He's a good manager.
Top manager. You don't give him money,
Then he's
he's
nobody.
going to be on his bark, So it's a big month coming up for Newcastle.
There's a lot of turmoil up there for the boys up north,
they
the
just want an
Geordie
answer,
boys.
Paul.
They want the club settled.
Yeah.
They want money for their team. They got the support. They got it. Why not get a great team up there? They
They've
used
got
to
a
have
class
great
manager. He's the best manager they've had that's around.
Yes. No,
Other
I agree
people
with
would
you.
take him tomorrow, Rafa Benitez.
Oh yeah.
But Leicester for me.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think Arsenal good things.
The way they played against United,
Jeez, they passed the ball well.
jeez, David De Gea made more saves than any other goalkeeper in the Premiership. Made 14 saves. I know half of them were straight at him. But
they gotta
Arsenal
save
were
them.
impressive.
Yeah.
If they play like that against Southampton, this is a comfortable victory.
Yeah. Southampton, they look good in patches, but
They
again,
just don't score many
don't
goals.
score
They
goals.
don't go for the jugular, but it's
Yeah.
the Spanish coach. He thinks he's coaching Barcelona. Yeah.
Liverpool,
Should
Everton.
be too good for Everton.
Liverpool
Local
at home.
derbies.
Local derby. They tighter. If Everton burgle one,
Yeah.
it becomes a very tight game.
Well,
But
Liverpool beat Maribor 7-0. They came back on the weekend. They were in trouble. They won 7-0 last night, but I just don't see that happening. Everton aren't
they've
too
got
good.
so much firepower going
Yeah.
forward.
But that's
They
why
can only play a few of them, though. They've got a few good
And Mourinho
players.
parked the bus. Everybody was cursing and swearing at him. Catch them on the break. They've got good players going forward, Liverpool.
Yeah. Man United, Man City.
Well, Paul, Man City's luck's going to run out eventually. I see this game being a draw.
Me too. Me too.
Pogba's injury or suspension is a shocker for United. Otherwise, would have fancied us.
Yeah.
But back four, they're not
Is he
too
that
good.
much of
Man
an
City.
influence? The jury's out with me, Budge.
Yeah, sure.
He's a good player. He's got a lot of touches, a lot of quality. But I've seen look at Salah. What's his name? Mohammed.
So, I compare
Look
him
at his
to
impact.
Eriksen at Spurs. He's that type of player. He's a creative player that gets forward. United still need another midfield player next to Matic. You have the two, and then he can bomb forward.
Mata looked all right the other day.
Yeah, but he won't be playing against Man City.
No. Okay,
I
let's
think
go
a
on
draw.
to PSL.
Yeah.
Budge, how do you see this? Is interesting.
Well, draws written all over our
Yeah.
games. I hope Maritzburg come right, but at home they haven't scored at Harry Guala in the last 4 games.
Jeez, that's
Morocco struggling, but draw a big player for me.
Okay, and then second.
Well, I like
down.
Supersport. They can't keep missing chances like they did against Pirates. And Cape Town City away from home, questionable. Supersport for me.
Wits, can they turn it?
Well, they've got to pull. Polokwane are one of those attack-minded teams. So this could go either way. We went field and exotics, but it's time Gavin's boys started scoring.
Okay, the Chiefs
Platinum
away.
has been Chiefs' bogey team, but likewise, Chiefs don't score goals.
Yeah.
You know, so draw and Chiefs for me there, Paul.
And the bottom game?
Well, I like Chipper. You know, Chipper unbeaten in 10. They played well last night against Chiefs. But, you know, Ajax, Cape Town,
Down there where the boys
won't
start
be
singing.
easy. But Chipper for me of the two teams.
Okay, let's have a look at Pirates
Well,
Amazulu.
you've got to fancy Pirates to beat Amazulu.
Heba Usutu.
You know, but Lesotho showed a bit of fight. You know, I watched them against, but they beat Sundowns away.
Weren't they good against Chiefs, wasn't
Yeah,
they?
they were unlucky. They missed a penalty.
Yeah.
So Kevin Johnson's got them right, but you never know in Joburg. But it's all about Pirates.
Yeah.
They score, they'll win. Local derby, the last couple of games they've played has ended 0-0. You know, so expect a draw in the Celtic and Free State Stars, and I think Sundowns will beat Arrows.
Sundowns are rolling on. Okay, let's go look at the 6. Soccer 6. Here we go. Buzz,
Yeah,
tell
I
me your
banked
thinking.
Chelsea to beat West Ham. I've gone the field with Polokwane and Wits. I've banked Supersport to beat Cape Town City. I've gone Chiefs win and draw at Platinum Stars. I've gone the field with Ajax, Cape Town and Chipper. And I've sort of looked at an upset, thrown the draw in Orlando Pirates and Amazulu. You want to spend 108, banker Pirates.
British.
The English one, I've
Yeah.
gone 3 bankers, 3 fields. I've gone the field with Burnley, Watford. I've banked Palace to beat Bournemouth. I've gone the fields with Huddersfield and Brighton, Swansea, West Brom. I've banked Spurs, and I think 18 to 10 less is my play for the weekend, Paul.
Okay,
162.
lovely. Newcastle, got to stop the rot somewhere. Right, let's go to 10.
Now the 10, I've gone the field, Burnley, Watford, banked Palace, gone Brighton, win and draw at Huddersfield. I've gone Middlesbrough, win and draw at home against Ipswich. Leeds, win and draw at QPR. Gone West Brom, win and draw at Swansea. Banker Spurs, banker Real Madrid, they'll come right. Sevilla played in Europe last night, lucky to get a draw. I've banked Leicester, I've gone the field in the championship game between Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday, 288.
Right, let's go for the big one.
Soccer 13, yeah, banked Leicester to beat Newcastle, gone win and draw Burnley, banked Palace, gone win and draw Brighton, win and draw Watford at Swansea, banked Spurs, banked your mate Keith Hughes, Aston Villa. I've gone Derby, win and draw at Barnsley, Fulham, win and draw against Birmingham, win and draw Brentford at Hull City. I've gone Middlesbrough, win and draw at home against Ipswich. Leeds United win and draw away at QPR, and I've banked Wolves to beat Sunderland.
Wolves are flying.
Going well. 4 points clear. I think it's 10 points clear of the third place.
That's a big gap, but
Top
they got a lot of
manager.
games, eh?
Top manager.
Who's in charge?
He's the guy that Gary Neville replaced at Valencia. Nuno Espirito Santo. Good manager.
Scottish guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
very good. Okay, now the best part, Budgie's bets.
yeah, you know, obviously.
Okay,
you know,
Budge,
content
no,
one to-
let's go
I've
through
gone
these.
Crystal Palace to
I'm
beat.
with you. I'm with you.
To beat Bournemouth. I've gone Leicester to win at Newcastle, and I fancy Arsenal to beat
I think that's a
Southampton.
great bet. It's one of them's going to draw. We know that.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
I like those three
it
as
could
well.
be Palace, but 2,200. I've gone the handicap treble. I didn't find much in the championship this weekend. So if all these 3 teams have to win by more than 1 goal, I think Arsenal will beat Southampton by more than 1 goal. Likewise, Aston Villa, they're at home to Millwall, who haven't won away from home. And Real Madrid will finally get it right this week against Sevilla at home, 15 to 1, 3,200 rand. The win and draw fiver, I don't see United losing at home against Man City. I've got Leeds win and draw at QPR, like Sheffield win or draw against Norwich. And the 2 Spanish games, Leganes against Deportivo La Coruña, and the Gunners of Eibar to get a good result against Getafe, 1,900 to 200. Both teams to score. I know you won't be impressed with one of them, but West Ham, Chelsea, I just think
That's
they've
the
got
one
to
I'm
go
not
for it.
impressed with.
Burnley, Watford, there'll be goals there. Tottenham, Stoke, you know, it was good price and there's even money that game. And Liverpool, Everton, you know, 2,600 to 200.
Okay, it's good odds, right?
Yeah, the
Spanish
omelette, as
omelette?
usual, is a mouthful. I spent about an hour trying to go through this. Backed Espanyol to beat Girona. I've got Atletico Madrid to beat Real Betis and over 2.5 total goals in the game. I've gone both teams to score, Levante, Atletico Bilbao, and over 2.5 goals, Real Sociedad against Malaga, 3,000 to 200. And I couldn't believe the price that we got on the 6 on X. The biggest price we got on it was
Collis King.
of the Collis King was Espanyol, just over even money. I've gone Arsenal to beat Southampton. I've gone Aston Villa to beat Millwall. I've gone Wolves to beat Sunderland. I've got Juventus to beat Inter Milan. I've got Atletico Madrid to beat Real Betis and Espanyol to beat Girona. 27 to 1. I thought it was a misprint when the odds got calculated.
We've got to hook one of those,
Yeah,
Budge,
that's what
because
we
it's,
need.
that's all we need, because it's hard. It's very, very hard. So, Budge, that's it for this week. And again, I think the championship starts on Friday. There's a championship game on Friday.
PSL game as well.
PSL,
Maritzburg play
that's right.
Barocca.
That's right, they play. And then the early game is
Chelsea, or West Ham Chelsea at the Olympic Stadium.
Olympic Stadium. So it looks good. And Budge, Just a prediction. You've looked at the fixtures.
Yeah.
You're in the best position to give us an answer to this.
If I was
40
you,
people.
I would go Arsenal. Of the 40 that's left,
Of the 40 that's left, how many do you think will go through?
I think about 16.
It's good. I'm saying 20 go through. And the favourites still up there, Sean Phillips and Mark Curry, hanging on to their 3 berths each. And that's all. We'll see you next week. Make sure you're on side.